So when you need bolts for your bike, where do you go? Do you go to Harley? Heck no! You go here. Much cheaper. Let's roll. Yogi Clan, welcome back to Yogi Cycle Service and Product Review Tuesday. I hope you're all doing well on this fine Tuesday in June now. Holy cow, this year is flying by. June. That's like what, month 6? We're halfway done with the year already? Holy cow. Wow. Today, 1 week ago today, I was up in DC. I was up at Rolling Thunder. And a couple things going through my mind that make me want to talk about Safety Tip Tuesday. Mainly crap in the road. We've talked a little bit about this before, but I had some other stuff nothing happened, but just some observations that I just want to talk about with you today. So let's run the intro and we'll dig on in. Alright, Yogi Clan, welcome back. So, crap in the road. Yes, it was like 95 plus this weekend. It was hot. And with that said, when thinking about crap in the road, sometimes temperature plays an impact to crap on the road. And what do I mean by that? When that temp gets hot, that road gets hot. When that road gets hot, the rubber on vehicles' wheels that meet the road get hot. Specifically, I'm thinking about 18-wheelers. I don't know why, but it seems like there's a whole lot more chunks of tires in the road from 18-wheelers in the summertime months than there are in the wintertime months. And you know, there's one of my videos, I don't even remember which one it was, but there's a chunk of 18-wheeler tire that came flying at me in the video, and I had to bleep out my cuss word in the video with a lady screaming so you wouldn't hear me cussing. But 18-wheeler tire chunks, the alligators, the black road alligators in the road. Also, another thing in the road, and I don't see any on the road here right now, but are road snakes. What are road snakes? Those are the cracks that are in the road. Like you can see right there, those cracks that are in the road right there. A lot of times they take this black, I don't know what it is, I think of it as like a caulk. Some kind of black caulk that they put down on the road, and I call them road snakes. Those things are slippery. They're slippery in the winter, and they're slippery in the heat in the summer. And you get on top of them in an area, in a patch that has a lot of them, and your whole back end is doing this, and your front too is doing that as you're going by them. And they can give you a butt pucker moment. We talked about butt pucker moments not too long ago with the grates on the bridges, on drawbridges. That's a butt pucker moment. You know, those road snakes, that's another butt pucker moment. What else with stuff on the road? You know, grass clippings. There was a big thing last summer on some of the social media pages that I'm on about grass clippings and how dangerous grass clippings can be. Now let's go through downtown. Go see the historic area. Oh, we talk about dangers on the road. Grass clippings. It's kind of like, can be kind of like riding on ice. You know, but hey, man, just keep your throttle consistent. Don't make any jerky movements. No quick braking, and you'll be all right. Yeah, everybody's got this thing about grass clippings on the road. I kind of giggle about it, but yeah, I've driven over grass clippings hundreds of times, and I haven't wrecked yet. So, but that also makes me think about, you know, stuff on the side of the road. Like over there, you can see crap on the side of the road. Where that makes me the most nervous is, you know, you get into a turn lane on a road, you move over into a turn lane, you go to make a turn. Very often in the center of the road, in a turn lane, there's a lot of gravel and a lot of debris. So it's very important when you're making turns that you're following the tire tracks of the cars that go over those turns, because if you get outside of those tire tracks, you can find a lot of gravel in turns, which can be very dangerous going around a turn, because you're already leaning, going around the turn, you know, you want your back end to wash out. But what made me think about this is I was following my buddy this weekend, and we were getting off an exit ramp off a highway, and it had very wide shoulders. So you have the yellow line on the left, what I call the mustard line, and then the white line on the right. And when he did it, he took that turn really tight, and he went over the white line onto what I guess you would technically call the shoulder. There's our illustrious library. This is historic downtown Concord, for those of you who don't know. I got some kind of vendors set up down here. The old Concord Hotel. Up here's the courthouse. It's from like the 1880s, 1890s, something like that. It's old. I wonder why I got this little street vendor thing set up. Or maybe it's sitting area for restaurants. I don't know what the heck that is. Oh, we'll figure it out as soon as the light changes. Remember, things go better with Coke. Pretty cool little mural. Anyways, he went over on the yellow line, went over that side of the yellow line, and when you do that, you get into areas where cars don't really travel often. If you get into an area where a car doesn't really travel often, you run the risk of running over debris, whether it's metal objects or rocks or glass or whatever it is. It's got the potential to tear your tire up, and it's also got the potential to make you go down. So make sure when you're out riding, yeah, wow, that looks like semi-permanent-ish. Huh. Wonder what's going on down here. The creameries. Where's the creamery? There's the creamery. Talk about some good ice cream. Cabarrus County Creamery. Up here on the left, a historic courthouse next to the new courthouse. There it is. And our new courthouse. And there you go. Now you're through. I hope you didn't blink or you might have missed it. You need to get bonded. There you go. 721-5353. Get your bail bond. Area code 704. And Ben Cox if you need an attorney. So make sure when you're rolling down the road that you're staying within the lines, because once you get out of the lines, you're running the danger of getting into non-trafficked area, which is where cars throw all their crap. And you don't want that, because that could turn into a bad day. And we don't like bad days on motorcycles, because bad days hurt. So things in the road, animals. Let's talk about that for a moment. Animals in the road. Do you swerve? Do you not swerve? Here's my rule of thumb. If it is a large dog or bigger, I will swerve. If it is smaller than a large dog, I'm running it over. Why do I say that? Because from the statistics I have heard over the years, you have a much higher percentage chance of crashing if you're swerving. And if you're swerving to miss whatever the animal is, I don't want to crash for a squirrel. I don't want to crash for a rabbit. I don't want to crash for a groundhog. I don't want to crash for an opossum. Well, what's going to hurt more? You crashing into a deer, or you crashing because you don't hit a deer? So my rule of thumb is if it's a large dog or bigger, I swerve. If it's smaller than a large dog, I keep going straight, and if I run it over, I run it over. Because I know if it's a large dog, it's going to damage my motorcycle. If it's a small little dog, like a little ankle biter or a rabbit size or a squirrel size, and I run it over, it's probably not going to wreck me, and it's probably not going to damage my bike. But things the size of a large dog or bigger have a higher percentage chance for me causing damage to myself, to my motorcycle, and potentially causing an accident. So I do swerve for things bigger than large dogs. I do not swerve for things smaller than large dogs. So kind of keep that in mind also. And swerving just has a potential of causing an accident. So keep that in mind when you encounter animals in the road. So animals, grass clippings, road snakes, tires, and there's just so many potential objects in the road that can cause you to have a bad day. Hey, here comes my barber shop. Joey's Barber. What's up, Joey? Potholes. Manhole covers. I had a buddy about 2 weeks ago that hit a pothole and smashed his front rim. I mean, cracked it and bent the thing from a pothole. I spent probably close to a year in Ukraine through all of our adoptions. And let me tell you, that is like the pothole capital of the world. Probably because they don't really have the tax infrastructure and funding to do a whole lot of road improvements. But man, it seems like when you're driving down the road, you're going like this down the road to swerve and miss all the potholes on those roads. It is absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible, the roads. So thank goodness for America. We got some halfway decent road systems over here. Even though you watch the Discovery Channel and they tell you that the infrastructure in America is falling apart, at least over here we got some halfway different road systems. Hey, go ahead, young lady. Come on in. What other hazards have I seen? I actually hit 2 skateboarders. So people walking down the side of the road, people bicycling down the road can be a danger. You know, you're rolling down a country road and there's a dude in a bicycle. Yeah, maybe he's not paying attention. You move over, you think you've given him enough room, and then suddenly he swerves over and he's in front of you. I had that happen with a kid on a skateboard. 2 kids are walking down the side of the road, and it's on a country road where people do like 55 miles an hour. I don't know what this kid was thinking. I really don't. It was me and Mama Yogi on the back of my motorcycle. We're rolling down the road, and I'm doing 55, 60, and I start coming up on these kids. I swerve over to the yellow line, to the mustard line. I slow it down to 45, and this kid decides, hey, I'm gonna drop my skateboard down the ground and hop on it. He drops his skateboard down, hops on it, he swerves out into the middle of the freaking road. I tag him. I locked it up, tag him. He hops up on the front of my bike. You know how when you are a kid, you're riding a bicycle and you put somebody on your handlebars and they're holding onto your handlebars as you're rolling down the street? That's what the kid looked like on the front of my motorcycle. I only hit him doing about 15, 20 miles an hour. But he popped up onto my handlebars, bent my headlight. I get it to a full stop, and I'm just like, what the bleepity bleep are you doing? What are you thinking on this road? And my wife just like lit into him. What are you thinking hopping on this road and hopping on your skateboard in the middle of this road without even looking at what's coming? Do you have a death wish? And blah, 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 blah. And the kid was not too bright, about 15 years old, and his buddy was like, durr. It was just stupid. I mean, make me want to grab the kid by the throat and rattle his cage for a minute. So people walking down the road are a hazard. People riding their bicycles down the road. Scooters can be a hazard that you have to be aware of. Birds. Not too long ago, I saw a thing about a dude who died because a vulture hit him. He was just running down the road, and the vulture swooped down and basically took him off his motorcycle. I think it broke his neck. I almost had a vulture take me out a couple of years ago. Rolling down the road, and it swooped down low. I mean, it's probably 10 feet above my head, but it felt like it was 1 foot above my head as it swooped down. And that is a big bird. And you hit a big bird, that can cause some damage. And there's the obvious cars pulling out from intersections is another hazard. You know, car comes up to the intersection this way and pulls out in front of you. So the bottom line, your head needs to be on a swivel at all times when you're riding a motorcycle. You don't really have time to daydream. If you're daydreaming while you're out there riding, that's when something's going to bite you because you're not paying attention. So paying attention all the time, being focused, head on the swivel, aware of what's coming up in front of you. Whether, hey man, maybe this van in front of me decides I'm going to turn left into this housing development and I'm stupid and I'm not going to use the left-hand turn lane that's right there. I'm going to turn from this lane right here. Saw that happen on the way home from DC. Suddenly we're doing 55 and suddenly we're doing 5 miles an hour because the idiot decided not to move over into the center to make his left-hand turn. He just decided, I'm going to stop right here and turn left. And there was oncoming traffic, and all of us behind him are thinking, why are you stopping? This is not a stopping lane. And we all had to quick jam on our brakes to come to a stop. So, poor drivers who make bad decisions and bad calls, that can be a hazard. Distracted driving can be a hazard. Things falling off of vehicles can be a hazard. How many times have you been following a pickup truck or a construction vehicle or a trash truck and something's falling off the trash truck? I've seen ladders blow out of pickup trucks or blow off of pickup truck racks because they don't have them secured properly. You know, you're tooling down the road at 60 miles an hour and suddenly a fiberglass step ladder launches off a pickup truck because it's not secured properly. You're potentially going to have a bad day. Or how many pickup trucks have you seen that, you know, they're making a run to the dump and they're filled with trash and none of that stuff is strapped down? Suddenly, you're having a bad day. I will not follow a pickup truck that is loaded to the gills in the back with, you know, maybe they're moving or maybe they have trash in it or a ton of tools. I refuse to follow loaded down pickup trucks. I will do anything I can to either pass them or change lanes, because it's just high potential for something flying off of there, and something flies off and you're doing 60 and it's hard to suddenly swerve. There are the road snakes I'm talking about. Black lines in the road. This road here, Highway 49 in North Carolina, it has a lot of them on them. Sometimes they're like here. I mean, look how thick that is with all those things. And they are slippery. Not too bad now. I'll say it's 74 degrees, so they're not bad now. But man, you put that at 95 and those things, they get slick. So bottom line is, there is the potential for just about anything on these roads, and you need to be careful. You need to constantly be scanning, looking ahead of you. You know, if you're following behind a car, stay over in the lane so you can look around the car to see what's on the road in front of the car. And just know there's a higher possibility for stuff to be in the center lane, because as you remember from earlier videos, this lane's broken up into 3. You have left-hand tire side, you have center road, you have right-hand tire side. The potential for objects in the road is much higher either on this white dotted line here or in the center of the road where cars can straddle them. Because as they run over them, you know, they'll roll around, the objects will roll around in the road until they get to a point where they're not getting hit and rolling anymore. So looking around the car, like I can see around this white pickup in front of it now, and see that the road is clear. But if you're centered up on it like this, you can't see around that truck and you have no idea what's in the middle of the road. So always keep your bike at a vantage point where you can see around and you can see what's going on. Alright, Yogi Clan. That's about all. Oh, a turtle. Oh, I should have pulled over and helped the little fella. Turtles in the road, see? And I even swerved for it. I should have pulled over and helped the little fella. Speaking of things in the road, yeah, I'll swerve for a turtle. They're slow moving objects. We should go back and help the little turtle. A good place to turn around. Hang in there, little buddy. Hang in there. Hang in there. There, little dude. There he is. Oh, he didn't make it. Well, that was sad. Dude, now I'm upset. I should have stopped right then and there. Crap. Alright, this road here, let's talk about one other thing. One last thing before we end this. Roads post heavy rain, and I say that because I know this road is notorious for it. When you get a heavy rain, and you have roads like this that have gravel driveways, a lot of time that rain will wash that gravel out in the road. So if you go out the day after a heavy rain, you know that road's gonna be washed, like this driveway right here. A lot of that gravel just washes out in the street until you've had a couple days of cars running it over and pushing it back off the road. You know that around some of these turns there's gonna be some gravel in the roads, that the rain's gonna wash dirt and mud and gravel all into the street, especially if it's one of those, you know, late afternoon heavy summer rains. That will throw a lot of debris into the road. Going around a turn and hitting gravel can be pretty sketch. Hence why it's important, like I said earlier, to stay in between the lines. Also in the center of the road going around turns, if there was formerly gravel on it, you know that in the center of the road, there's probably going to be some gravel in the center of the road also. There are just so many potentials for objects in the road at any given moment. You just need to pay attention, Yogi Clan. So think about that the next time you're out riding. Think about what hazards there are. It's pretty dry around here now, so not many people are mowing, or else I guarantee somewhere along this road also will be somebody pushing grass out into the street. So keep it safe, keep the rubber down, keep it on two wheels, Yogi Clan. Pay attention to where you're riding, pay attention to where you're rolling. Don't have a bad day. So I thank you for joining us for this safety tip. I hope you have an awesome week, and I will catch you on the next video. This week I'm going to plan on talking about, for Product Review Thursday, those meat hook handlebars that we attempted to put on. I will bring you my thoughts and reviews, probably do that from the truck one of these days, because it's going to be a busy week of work. But after we get past graduations this weekend, life should free up a little bit. Summer will be here, no school, no soccer, no nothing. I'm looking forward to taking the boots off and putting my feet up for the summer. So I will catch you soon, Yogi Clan. Have an awesome week. I'll catch you on the next video. All right, y'all. Peace.